Good morning to you. Well, Scott Piggins, CEO and founder of Migrate and chairman of the Global Wealth Group. I wanted to share with you, and you're probably wondering, why am I wearing this pink hat? Well, the honest answer is that it's Women's Month, and it's also going to be Women's Day on Monday. And so the whole month is dedicated to women. And this weekly Wealth Insight is about purpose. So let me explain that. We've had the incredible last week of having VIP breakfasts with a guy called Willem van der Post. Now, Willem is a venture capitalist, or what's better known nowadays as a venture builder. And he has focused on exponential technology businesses, not only in Africa, but around the world. He's worked with some of the best in the world. And he's been literally doing these VIP breakfasts with our top investors. And the reason being is that we want to educate them. The world has changed, we all know that. And now it's what do you do about it? And the number one thing from successful businesses, and just by the way, successful businesses 10x the performance of any other business. It's called an EXO. Those EXO businesses, their number one thing is purpose. It's a massive transformative purpose, an MTP. It's something to make the world a better place. Now, if your MTP is to make profit or just to make wealthy people more wealthy, that's great. But it's not a passion, it's not a purpose. It's not something that's going to stir a community. It's not something that's going to stir a movement. And it's not something that's going to create a business which is going to 10x the results of traditional businesses. And so, you know, for me, I'd click on the link below. There's a thing on how to start a movement. And with me wearing my nice pink hat, maybe I'm the silly guy doing a dance. But it's not me anymore. We have a whole team. We have a whole community of people that are dancing together because we want to change the world. And we want to do it one person at a time. We want to empower 1 billion people, but you don't empower 1 billion people, you empower one person at a time. I wanted to share 2 stories with you today. The first story is that sorry, 3 stories actually. We created the wealth movement back in 2015. Hilda Lunderstedt actually wrote a beautiful manifesto for the wealth movement. Again, click on the link below and you can read it. And what's so interesting is that the tagline for the wealth movement is to create a better and more sustainable planet for all. Our purpose is to empower the 99% to be able to invest like the top 1% using technology and smart investing. Ultimately, we want to solve the greatest challenge on the planet. We want to solve the wealth gap or income inequality. And if you're watching this, you know, you might say, well, I'm part of the top 1%. Great. Don't you want to live in a better planet? Don't you want to have a purpose and destiny that we solve the greatest challenge on the planet, not only in our lifetime, but in the next decade? You know, the UN crowdsourced the 17 biggest problems on the planet. And number 1, not number 2, not number 3, number 1 was no poverty. There's no reason with the resources we've got on this planet now that each and every person can't be empowered. You know, Donald Trump wants to build a wall to stop the poor people from coming into America. That's the way, you know, here in South Africa, they want to take from the rich, they want to take the land. It's an old way of thinking. It's an old power, old model way of thinking. Nowadays, it is all about uplifting, empowering. What about empowering the 99%? There are 7.7 billion people on this planet, of which 3.5 billion of them live on less than $1 a day, $2 a day, sorry. And now they're all getting access to mobile phones. In the next 10 years, this world is going to dramatically change. And the thing is, we can all complain about it. We can all bitch and moan about COVID, or we can get flippin' excited because now we can do something about it. And so, you know, for me with the wealth movement, there's 3 legs to the wealth movement. The first is empowering the 99% with, you know, to be able to invest like the top 1% using technology and smart investing, and ultimately just giving people access. Okay, and that's the platform. When we built them, and we built multiple platforms now. The second is about empowering women. Do you know that the stats are amazing? 2/3 of the women, 2/3 of the people that are literate on this planet are women. And yet my mom, who's a very powerful woman and someone that I respect a huge amount and is still doing a huge amount of good in the world now to this day at the age of 72. What's fascinating is that she helps early childhood education and she helps women in the early childhood ECD sector. And my mom taught me many years ago that, and for the men here, I'm sorry to say this, but one woman has 10 times bigger impact in a community than a man. 10 times. So if you're going to and want to change the world, or you want to change a community, it's the women that count. and yet 2/3 of them are literate. Now, when it comes to the financial industry, it is a completely male-dominated, chauvinistic industry. When was the last time that you met a woman financial planner? When was the last time that you met a woman that's running, you know, assets under management or investment banking or anything like that? They're few and far between. And it's even worse because that masculine energy is you know, all about success, and it's Donald Trump epitomizes it. I win, you lose, you know, etc. Whereas the feminine energy is, how do we win together? How do we co-invest? How do we collaborate? How do we change the world for the better? How do I win and you win? How do we find synergy? And so it's with a huge amount of excitement that, you know, we've had Women in Wealth for many years. We've had many successful events in the women in wealth space. But last night, the amazing women in our team and our community launched the Women in Wealth platform. And, you know, it's a real step in the right direction, because not only does the conversation need to be something focused on women's needs and what they require, but also there needs to be a way for women to invest together, to collaborate together, and not only about profit, but also about purpose. And so Women in Wealth, click on the link below, join the amazing webinar series. They've got 4 weeks of incredible webinars, and they've launched the platform. Click on the link below. And then finally, the third leg of it is empowering children with entrepreneurship education. And we launched a concept back in 2014, I think it was, called Lemonade Day, 2014 or 2015. And Lemonade Day is a thing that comes out of America. It trains hundreds of thousands of children every year in how to be entrepreneurs. It's backed by Google for Entrepreneurs. And we brought it to Africa. And there was a young man called Bongi that just stood up heads and shoulders above all his compatriots back in 2015. And we were sitting with him. He won the whole competition. We were sitting with him and he said, "What's your dream?" And he said, "My dream is to go to a private school." Now, his dad was a security guard and subsequently is no longer there. And his mom is a police lady. And so we flew him up to Joburg. He met our entire community. It presented one of our most amazing wealth movement events. And we decided to crowdfund his education. And for 5 years, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, for 5 years, our community has funded him to go to a private school. And this morning we found out that he's just got into business school, which is his dream, to be an entrepreneur and to go to business school, go to university. And, you know, who knows? Here comes the next Elon Musk. And so what wakes you up in the morning? What excites you? Are you living a life of purpose? Do you have a destiny? How are you going to change the world? It's 2020 now. We're all sitting and complaining about COVID. What about 10 years from now? You know, what's so interesting is that most people in this life overestimate what they can do in a year, but they underestimate what they can do in a decade. And my challenge to you is find your purpose, find your passion, and go and do something that's going to change the world. And you know what's really interesting is Peter Diamante says, the world's biggest problems are equally the world's biggest opportunities. So, you know, I'm not sitting here with a funny pink hat on. I'm not trying to be Mother Teresa. I believe that if you empower 1 billion people, it's absolutely logical that you will create a tremendous amount of wealth in the process for those involved. And that's the invitation as well. I think you can be profitable and purposeful at the same time. It's where the world's going. It's why impact investing is growing so dramatically. And it's why Willem van der Post and all the research that's out there, the number one thing is the MTP. And if you're looking for a company to be successful, then you need to make sure that the companies that you want to be part of and the companies you invest with have an MTP, a massive transformative purpose. How are they going to change the world? If you like this, subscribe to the channel. As I said to you, we want to empower 1 billion people. We cannot do it on our own. And I encourage you to go out and to share these messages with others. You know, the bottom line is we need to inspire people. We need to educate them. We need to motivate them. We need to turn the light bulb on off to what is possible, because we can change this world one person at a time, and we need your help. I welcome you on the journey. Cheers.